Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to TPL Live. Today is our Eagles versus 49ers post-game show. The Eagles got the L here, 17-11. They move on to 1-1 on the season. We're going to be breaking down our biggest takeaways. We're going to be talking player of the game. If you're watching us live, always be sure to comment, join the chat, ask questions. That's what this is all about. And, of course, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Joining me today is my man, Ty. What's up, Ty?
Going on, Chris? Thanks for having me, man.
All right. Let's get right into it, man. I think for me, missed opportunities.
That's in the. I have it in capital letters on my notes here. I don't think they lost to a better team today.
Yeah.
I don't think they lost to a better team.
Yeah, you talk about that almost touchdown to Jalen Reagor there in the first half, the blocked field goal, botching a great punt by Sipos, and getting no points after a huge 91-yard reception by Quez Watkins. You had the Niners first and goal on the one. On the one. You got nothing. You can't punch it in. You fast forward to the fourth quarter, and the Niners fumble the ball. The Eagles might get momentum finally in this second half. Boom. An unnecessary roughness call on
the Kayvon Wallace call. I'm not going to sit here and say he didn't lower his head. I'm not. That's a really tough call. He looked way lower than the running back's head. That's a tough call. It was tough to swallow.
And last one, you're down 6. The Eagles are down 6 with 4 minutes remaining. You've got no freaking timeouts. Clock management, Nick Sirianni's play calling. As good as Nick Sirianni and the offense looked against the Atlanta Falcons, it was the exact opposite in week 2. Go ahead, Ty. What are some of your takeaways, man?
So I got a question for you, man. I'm honestly, do you think that Nick Sirianni looked at today and was a little intimidated? Is not the right word, but do you think he changed his overall thought process because he knew he was playing a better defense today? Because I didn't see nearly what I saw last week. I was it just wasn't the same team.
Yeah, you didn't see the quick plays from Jalen Hurts. I got to give my guy on here, Loretto, of the podcast. He is a hardcore Niners fan. What's up, Lo? How you doing, brother?
Bang, bang, Niner gang. Hey, what's up, Philly? Hey, seriously, I'm not even trying to be boastful. Hey, real talk, I am a football fan through and through. And look, I got to tell y'all, I was nervous as hell. Hey, Hargrave was in our backfield from snap one, man. Y'all were giving us problems. Right there, brother. Y'all, hey, seriously, your guys' D-line is nasty. I was worried, but as a fan, I am happy we got the victory. It wasn't as high scoring as I thought it was, but it was a hard fought game, y'all, for real.
Yeah, this was really close. Obviously 17-11. But even at halftime, the Niners were up 7-3. The Eagles offensive line, the Eagles defensive line looked absolutely terrific, minus a huge play to Deebo Samuel there in that second quarter. But I looked right at that third quarter offense for the 49ers. The Niners were 2 of 8 on third downs. You had back-to-back third down conversions by the 49ers. That what, like a 16-play, 9-minute drive that the Eagles just could not get that defense off the field.
Well, just to piggyback off that, the Niners were 2 for 7 on third downs in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at the overall numbers at the end of the game. Shanahan made adjustments going into the second half. I don't think that Gannon made as, we'll just say, productive adjustments as he did the week previously. And the Eagles, who were 4 for 8 on third down in the first half, were not nearly as good in the second half. Really, really pedestrian in the second half, in my opinion.
Yeah. Everything circles back to the Eagles' lack of offense. Lo, any other takeaways in this game, man?
Yeah, 100%. I think the main thing, especially in the second half, was ball control. There was a buddy of mine that was upset with the way Jimmy was playing. Personally, if you're a Niner fan, you were not happy with the way Jimmy was slinging the ball. But At some point, we did establish ball control. We had a lot of burn time of possession on our side of the ball, and part of it started with getting those third downs. So I'm really happy we figured it out, because there was a couple plays we left in the field in the first half.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it would have been a blowout, but I feel like we definitely would have been up more than we would have been.
3 plays in the first half where Jimmy missed a wide open receiver. But it's
exactly,
man. Like after the first half, I made a comment on Twitter. I was like, Garoppolo is really off target, but he ended up 22 for 30 on the day for 180. So 8 incompletions, but 3 of them were touchdowns. He missed 3 guys that were wide open for touchdowns, and the Eagles dodged the bullet there a couple of times.
Hey, I respect Jimmy for settling down, because the first 2 series, he looked like he didn't know what the hell was going on.
Let me ask you something, man. As a San Francisco fan, so I thought the Eagles had an opportunity to take advantage of a team who had to travel across the country and play a 1:00 game. And they had the opportunity in the first 12 minutes of the game, I would say, to really establish themselves. As a San Fran fan, do you see weathering that storm as what won this game? Because in my opinion, as an Eagles fan, that's what lost the game for us.
Oh, 100%. And I know Jalen got something like 40, 50 yards on the ground, but I feel like for
87.
the most part, we did contain him, and I think that was a huge win for us, because normally just knowing our defense, running quarterbacks are our kryptonite, and the fact that we limited him to no scores and just something under 50 yards or something like that, that was a huge win for us to corral Jalen.
All right, Bald Eagle says predictable offensive play calling, poor secondary. Chris says very vanilla play calling. Chris says, I'm on record saying the key to the Eagles winning is getting Miles Sanders 20 touches. 100% agree with that. Outside of the third quarter, Miles Sanders was cooking in that third quarter. Then it just kind of was nothing.
Really?
How good was this Eagles offensive line today? When you look at only
right now,
the Eagles offensive line was dominating.
Chris, one of the things I was watching all day long was Jordan Mailata against Nick Bosa. And I'll tell you right now, outside of the sack that he fell into, nothing against Nick Bosa, he's a hell of a player. But that is you can't blame Mailata for that. The whole pocket collapse, Hurts just kind of fell into his arms. I thought Jordan Mailata handled one of the best pass rushers in football extremely well today. I don't know that they lost to a better team. And no disrespect, man, being a San Fran fan. I honestly think that we got a little out-coached today, a little bit of rookie coaching staff losing their way at times. I mean, not taking the 3 points on that and on that goal line situation is a huge mistake. It gives them the ball. There's momentum going the other way, especially trying to trick play there. I just didn't think that was the right time.
And run the damn ball. Run the ball. They were running it so well.
But we're going to see some of that this year with Sirianni. I'm not going to sit here and say that Sirianni is just get out of here. It's his second game ever as head coach. I think that last week was really easy for him. Atlanta is not a good team. And I'll tell you right now, Kyle Shanahan's a good coach. And, man, D'Amico Ryans, as much as I hated him as a middle linebacker for the Eagles, because he was okay. He wasn't great. He was kind of passive. He was long in the tooth when he got here. His defense was impressive today. They made a lot of really good plays, but I was really disappointed that the Eagles didn't exploit the cornerback situation. They just kept trying to take shots instead of running the seam or running, quick slants. We didn't see a single quick slant today. We saw a couple last week. Really disappointed in our wide receiver route choices. And it makes it difficult on Hurts, who has to take shots then to pick up plays.
I want to hear Loretto's thoughts on this, because going into this game, the biggest advantage the Eagles had was their speedsters, wide receivers against the Niners secondary. The Niners secondary looked very good today. I want to get Loretto's opinion on this, because this kick coming in that was kind of the thing that, like you said, Ty, I thought Nick Sirianni would exploit that. A lot of quick routes, get Devontae the ball in space. We didn't see any of that. And go ahead, Loretto. Can you hear me, man?
Hey, sorry guys. Hey, no, so I'm at a public bar, but yeah. So speaking to the corners, look, we literally lost our best corner last week, and we signed Josh Norman off the streets.
Right.
And it was evident when I think it was Watkins caught that 91-yard pass. I mean, I think the issue was they kept trying to force that same go route, but we had issues in our secondary. So I'm actually really surprised you guys you weren't more aggressive with attacking our corners. I think they tried a similar play in the third or fourth quarter, but we were onto it. And I'm surprised. I'm really surprised on how well our defense overall held you guys to only 11 points. I saw the game going well over 20 for you guys.
I'm totally with you, man. I was really disappointed. I don't think I saw a single post or flag pattern all day long. There was twice I did see that Jalen missed a wide open receiver. Kind of interested to see the game replayed and be able to slow it down a little bit. There was 3 times though where tight ends were wide open. Oh no, is that
true? Is that true? Can anybody confirm that?
I have not heard anywhere
from both Ertz and Goddard was baffling, guys.
That's it, man.
Those are playmakers for you guys, you know, like
that. Yeah. And that's all we saw during training camp preseason. Week 1 was how much the tight ends were heavily utilized in this offense, and Goddard didn't touch the ball until late in the second half. That is.
I'll tell you right now. Like, are you telling me they couldn't find a way to screen him the ball or do something? The middle of the field was open all day long because San Fran was selling out for the run. They really were. Chris Lahiff, whoever you are, where did you see this? Because I haven't seen it yet.
That'd be a huge blow. That would
look like the same thing as that. Okay, fine. It looks like the same thing as Roman Quinn, but like, have you seen anything, man? Don't go throwing things out there that you don't know. Derek Gunn. Oh, damn. All right. If Gunn tweeted it,
Hey, real quick, can I speak to what you were talking about earlier? Because as a fan, I was wondering where Bosa was. So hats off to your guys' tackle, man. They locked them up. They locked them up for sure.
Dude, I'm with you, man. I was super impressed. I watched that all game. That was my big thing this week because they just gave him the extension. They drafted Dillard in the first round a couple of years ago, and I was super excited to watch like that matchup today. And I watched it all day long, and Mulata held his shit down. Lahiff, sorry, man. I wasn't trying to call you out. I really wasn't. Thank you for throwing the Derek Gunn out there. If Gunn tweeted it, that's a fact.
That's major. But I was just sorry, Ty. I was just on an Eagles show this week, and I was asked the question, what would be the Eagles' downfall? Why would they lose? Why would they only win like 4 or 5 games this season? And I said, health on the defensive line. This could be the part of something really impactful this season because the Eagles' strength is on that defensive line. And, yeah, their depth was good, but that you can't take away guys like Brandon Graham. That is a huge, huge loss. And you look at the second half and how the Niners just kind of – they didn't dominate on the ground, but when they needed to, they definitely got some big plays. So that's where we're at, man. That is where I'm at. It just sucks. That is a massive blow for the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's a huge hit. I will say though, if we're gonna talk, let's talk about the defensive line for a minute. Hargrave is a effing monster. I'll tell you right now. He is continuing to impress.
Who's that?
Hargrave.
Oh my gosh, he was like kind of the star of that first half. Like,
I mean, he's my player of the game.
In our backfield, he was cooking sausages in our backfield. Every play, you guys, I was stressed out.
Dude, he is. I have him written down as my player of the game. I know we haven't gotten there yet, Dives, but like he definitely is.
Let's do it. Let's just jump right into player of the game. So Javon Hargrave, go ahead, Tom.
I mean, he was outstanding. Early in the game, he was just devastated in the backfield. He literally was and I don't know, maybe he is producing because he's got guys like Fletcher Cox and Josh Sweat, somebody's got to talk about him sooner or later. I know he's not getting to the quarterback, but he is taking up 2 players on almost every play. But Hargrave really played well. I'm still not sold on the 3-4, man. I'm really not.
Yeah, I agree.
In the first half, they ran a lot of 4-3, and then they came out in the second half and jumped into that 3-4 set again. And that's when San Fran started to move the football. And maybe I'm missing it a little bit because they were running – maybe they were running 3-4, but whoever the outside guy was running with his hand in the ground. So that's possible too. I got to go back and rewatch a little bit, which I will. But when they were in the second half and it was noticeable 3-4, 3 guys' hands in the dirt, 4 guys' hands on the hips, that's when the ball started to get moved.
And you look at that Atlanta Falcons week 1, the first 2 drives by the Falcons, the Eagles were in a 3-4 and ran right up and down the field. Loretta, who is your player of the game? You can choose a Niner if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was gonna say, not to pour salt in the wound or anything, but I just want to shout out Fred Warner, man. He's one of the most underrated defensive players in the league. And look, guys,
so good.
If it wasn't for Fred Warner on the goal line, Zach Ertz should have had a touchdown, but Warner was in his face. Hurts was nervous about it. And I think if you guys score there, this game is completely different. He also tracked down Jalen Hurts on a couple runs that other backers probably would have let go, or if Hurts gets the first down there, it changes the game. So I think Warner made a lot of big plays for us, and he's an all-pro for a reason. And I'm really proud of his play today. I'm glad he's on our team.
Dude, I'm with you. He is, and Dives has the comment up here. Literally a top 3 linebacker in the game. Moves side to side as well as anybody I've seen. Stuffs the run really well, and honestly dissects plays really quickly. You made a great point. He was in the backfield a bunch of times, especially at the biggest moments, and that's what you're talking about with a linebacker. I mean, he literally is your Patrick Willis at this point. He's stepped right into that role. I was really impressed with him today. I love your defense. I was watching it pretty closely last week, and I was excited to see this week. Mainly, like I said, I've said it multiple times so far, the Mulata-Bosa matchup I was really excited about. But I wanted to see Warner against us just in general because we have good tight ends. Middle linebackers tend to fall towards a tight end. You didn't hear our tight ends' names most of the game. Also, up the middle, outside of – once Brandon Brooks went down, Werner just took off.
Yeah. All right. My player of the game, I'm just going to say the offensive line. The offensive line for me was extremely strong all game long. I kept watching this game, and I was like, how the hell do we only have 3 points? That's how dominant the Eagles' offensive line. There were several times in this game where Hurts had all the time in the world to do whatever he wanted. The Niners had 2 sacks and 3 quarterback hits, but it didn't feel like that. You look at last year, really one of the big downfalls of this Eagles team was pass protection and keeping Wentz out of the ground. And that is a very good sign for the Eagles moving forward. Jordan Mailata, we might be looking at that 7th-round pick by Howie Roseman as one of the best Eagles draft picks of all time. He is the real deal.
Also, Dives, can I really quick just say how nervous I was? We were up 7-3 at half, but I didn't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Dives, in the trenches, you guys were kicking our asses, honestly. I couldn't believe we were winning the game. I was very frustrated as a fan.
Yeah.
I had no worries going into the half at 7-3. I was disappointed that they gave up that touchdown at the end of the half. I thought the defense, and this is one of my notes here, I thought the defense was playing really lax, trying to let them just run the clock out. They didn't think they were going to be able to move the ball because they hadn't. I hate that approach as a defensive coordinator. I hate that. That disappoints me. And they gave up 7. And then moving into the second half, though, I was like, okay, they haven't moved the ball. We're okay. We get the ball at the half. We take it down. We score. We're up 10-7. And you guys came out in the second half and really made some great adjustments, especially defensively. You never put a spy on Hurts, which I thought would happen at some point. He missed 3 or 4 opportunities to get outside of the pocket and make something happen. Outside of that, though, it was just kind of lockdown. San Francisco is going to be a team to contend this year if Garoppolo can play well. They will be a contending team if Garoppolo can play well.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box score. I just can't get away from Devontae Smith. Only 2 catches, 4 total targets to the Eagles tight end this game. That play calling to me just keeps going round and round and round in my brain. That is just I think what did it.
Well, I mean, Chris, it's one of those things that's really tough too when you look at the totals for the day for like Jalen Hurts, who, oh shoot, I just lost. Okay, so I mean, he was 8 for 14 in the first half, and ended up 12 for 23. Right, like so. I mean, we're talking 4 completions in the second half, only 39 yards. I mean, that's not really gonna help you, and that has to do with guys being open, and it has to do with protection, which I thought was there. So it had to be routes, it had to be finding guys. I don't know.
Yeah, let's roll on final grades and takeaways of today's performance. You can grade the Niners, Loretto. Go ahead, man.
What are we doing it out of? Like letter grades?
Yeah, let's do a letter grade. Letter grade.
Overall, man, I'll give it a good solid B. I think the first half we were sloppy. Usage and Debo falling over, dropping passes, Jimmy overthrowing passes. I was super frustrated as a fan, but I got to elevate the grade because at the end of the day, we win the game. Our defense really tightened up when we needed to. Jimmy, although I was frustrated, he made some clutch throws when it needed to happen. I can't be too upset with the win, but at the same time, it was a stressful win, just like it was last week. I mean, we kind of blew them out last week, but the way that they came back, it just made me feel like defensively, we got to tighten up. I feel like if we're going to finish games, we need to finish it out properly because if we play an elite team and we don't finish the game, we are going to lose. So I'll give it a solid B. I'm happy we got the win, but as a fan, I know we can play better, especially defensively. So hopefully we can step that up.
And no Trey Lance today, right? I don't think he got a
hey, no packages for Trey, and that's fine with me. I think he needs to kind of see the field. He's 20 years old, he hasn't played football for over a year. I think people need to calm down with asking him to start, so.
All right, Ty, how would you grade today's performance?
C. I thought that we did not lose to a team that was more talented than us. And that's not taking anything away from San Francisco. I saw a lot of really, really good things last week. I thought we got away from a lot of things that were successful this week. Defensively, in the first half, I was really happy, and everything seemed to crumble after that last drive in the first half. I thought they let a game get away here this week. I thought they had a chance early in the game to jump on a team that had to travel across the country and play a 1:00 game, which I don't think we're talking enough about that record for teams that come across the country and have to play 1:00 games. I think the coaching staff tried to outsmart themselves a little bit today, and we're going to see that this year. So, I'm going to say a C. I'm not going to go D or anything like that. That's just stupid. Just like last week, I went B, and everybody was saying A. This is why I said B last week, because they're a young team with a young coaching staff, and the talent, I think, is there, but you really need to figure out how you're going to use it. And I think we kind of lost sight of that today a little bit. Penalties were better until late in the game when you had 2 really bad personal fouls. So I'm sticking C and excited for next week. I'm excited to keep moving on.
Yeah, I was talking to Loretto during the week before this game, and I was like, if the Eagles can make this a competitive game and show me something, like there is something in an Eagles loss, but it's a close game against the San Francisco 49ers. What I'll give this grade a C for this game because I love the way the Eagles played in the trenches. The only downfall is now Brandon freaking Graham is out for the year, and it's like bittersweet because I was really impressed by Jordan Mailata. I was really impressed by the Eagles defensive line, especially through 3 quarters. It just didn't work at the end when the Niners made the plays and the Eagles didn't. That's really what it came down to. So I'll give this a C. Loretto, where can we find you, man? Let's wrap it up. Go ahead, dude. Time's yours.
All right. Hey, honestly, always a pleasure, Dives. Thank you for having me on the Painted Lines Network. You can find me on Twitter at Marcellus Durden. I'm mostly a film nerd, mostly talk film stuff, cinema, Marvel, Star Wars, whatever. But I do love my sports. I'm a big Niner fan. I love MMA. And, if I could break into that field a little bit, I wouldn't mind. So thank you for having me, Dives. I appreciate the platform, man.
Loretto, thanks for being here, man. You were a huge addition today.
Good insight. Good stuff. Ty, where can we find you, man? What do you got going on?
You can find me at TyBook3 on Twitter or at PTP2021. Instagram's Wild by Ty. I do have to say something to Steve Numereski's 90-plus yard drives. I don't disagree with him. I think that Gannon is a young defensive coordinator, and as it moves on, when he did blitz, it was really successful, and I agree 100% with that. I think that as we move forward in the season, he's going to understand who he can blitz and when he can blitz. I was really happy with our corners today for the most part. So that means that they can start taking chances like that. But at TyBook3, at PTP 2021, Instagram Wild by Ty. Dives, as always, so happy to be here. Bummed about the loss, but pumped.
Hey, Eagles are 1-1. They have a huge week coming up against the dreaded Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football next week. That is going to be a ton of fun. But anyway, Eagles 1-1. Get the L to the San Francisco 49ers, 17-11. Go follow my man Ty. Follow my man Loretto. I am Dives, Mr. Crackpot. Always hit that subscribe button. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Stay awesome, guys.